Levels of debt. Understanding the layers of financial burden. In today's complex financial landscape, debt is an almost unavoidable aspect of modern life. From student loans and mortgages to credit cards and payday advances, debt manifests in various forms, some constructive, others dangerously destructive. However, debt is not a monolith. It exists in different levels, each with its own impact on financial health, behavior, and long-term stability. Understanding these levels is key to making informed decisions, managing risk, and ultimately achieving financial independence. The nature of debt, in its most basic form, is money borrowed with the promise of repayment, often with interest. It can be a useful tool or a heavy burden, depending on how it is used and managed. Most financial experts agree that not all debt is inherently bad. In fact, certain types of debt can be instrumental in building wealth or securing essential opportunities, such as education or home ownership. However, other forms can quietly erode financial stability and create long-term stress. Recognizing the distinction between different levels of debt enables individuals to make smarter financial choices and avoid falling into dangerous financial patterns. Level 1. Strategic or productive debt. At the most favorable end of the spectrum lies strategic or productive debt. This is often referred to as good debt because it is used to acquire assets or improve one's future financial position. A common example is a student loan, which represents an investment in education, a resource that can significantly increase lifetime earning potential. Similarly, mortgages allow individuals to purchase real estate, which may appreciate over time and build equity. Business loans can also fall into this category, especially when used to fund ventures that generate income or grow in value. Strategic debt typically comes with lower interest rates and longer repayment periods. When managed wisely, it can serve as a foundation for upward mobility and financial growth. However, even productive debt carries risk. Overborrowing or mismanaging repayment can turn it into a liability. Therefore, borrowers must evaluate the potential return on investment and ensure that they can meet their repayment obligations without compromising other financial priorities. Level 2. Neutral or lifestyle debt. The next level is neutral or lifestyle debt. Unlike strategic debt, this category does not contribute directly to wealth building or income generation. Instead, it is often used to enhance comfort, convenience, or personal satisfaction. Examples include auto loans, personal loans for vacations, or installment plans for consumer goods. While these debts can be manageable, they do not provide long-term financial value. Neutral debt becomes problematic when it begins to consume a significant portion of an individual's income, or when it leads to habitual borrowing for non-essential expenses. People in this level of debt may find themselves living paycheck to paycheck, with little to no savings or investment. Although this type of debt may not be immediately harmful, it can erode financial flexibility over time and make it harder to respond to emergencies or invest in the future. Level 3. Consumer or high-interest debt. The third level is where debt transitions from inconvenient to potentially dangerous. Consumer or high-interest debt often results from credit cards, store credit, or short-term loans used to purchase goods and services that quickly lose value. These debts tend to carry steep interest rates, often ranging from 20% to 30% APR or more, and they can accumulate rapidly if balances are not paid in full each month. High-interest debt creates a cycle that is difficult to escape. Borrowers frequently find themselves making only minimum payments, causing interest to compound and the balance to grow despite ongoing payments. This can lead to a dangerous pattern known as the debt trap, in which individuals continue borrowing just to meet existing obligations. Over time, this level of debt diminishes credit scores, limits financial options, and increases stress and anxiety. Breaking free from high-interest debt requires discipline, awareness, and a proactive approach. Popular strategies include the debt avalanche method, paying off the highest interest debts first, or the snowball method, which focuses on eliminating smaller balances to build momentum. Budgeting, cutting discretionary spending, and increasing income through side hustles or freelance work can also help reduce reliance on credit and expedite debt repayment. Level 4. Toxic or crisis-level debt. At the deepest and most severe level lies toxic or crisis-level debt. This is characterized by unmanageable balances, multiple missed payments, and constant stress surrounding finances. Individuals in this situation may rely on one credit card to pay off another, dodge calls from collectors, or even consider bankruptcy as a last resort. Toxic debt often stems from payday loans, unpaid medical bills, court judgments, or multiple maxed-out credit cards. What distinguishes this level of debt is its pervasive impact not only on finances, but on overall well-being. It can affect mental health, damage relationships, and limit opportunities in employment and housing. The longer this debt goes unresolved, the more it grows, creating a vicious cycle of financial despair. Recovering from toxic debt is challenging but not impossible. The first step is confronting the reality of the situation with honesty and clarity. Seeking help from a certified credit counselor or debt advisor can provide structure and support. Options such as debt consolidation, settlement negotiations, or in extreme cases, bankruptcy may need to be explored. The key is to take consistent action, no matter how small, and to focus on both short-term relief and long-term financial rehabilitation. Climbing the debt ladder. Understanding the levels of debt is only the beginning. The ultimate goal is to move upward toward financial stability and freedom. Climbing the debt ladder involves transitioning from harmful forms of debt to either neutral or productive forms, or eliminating it altogether. The first step is awareness, listing out all debts, their interest rates, minimum payments, and total balances. From there, individuals can create a repayment strategy tailored to their situation. For example, someone with multiple credit card balances might choose to pay off the highest interest card first, the avalanche method, while someone motivated by quick wins might prefer paying off the smallest balances first, the snowball method. In parallel, lifestyle changes are often necessary. This might include cutting unnecessary expenses, canceling subscriptions, or downsizing housing. On the flip side, increasing income through part-time jobs, freelance gigs, or career advancement can accelerate the debt payoff process. Building a small emergency fund, even just $500 to $1,000, can prevent future reliance on debt for unexpected expenses. Most importantly, climbing the debt ladder requires a shift in mindset, from consumerism to intentional living, from short-term gratification to long-term goals. When debt is inevitable, it is important to acknowledge that some forms of debt are unavoidable for most people. Buying a home, attending college, or facing an unexpected medical emergency can all lead to borrowing, often with little choice. The key is not to avoid all debt at any cost, but to use debt wisely and with foresight. When borrowing becomes necessary, borrowers should strive to compare lenders for the best terms, avoid variable interest rates where possible, understand the full cost of repayment over time, maintain a backup plan in case of income loss or emergencies. Smart borrowing is not about fear, but about strategy. By approaching debt with caution, preparation, and a clear payoff plan, individuals can navigate necessary borrowing without sacrificing future financial security. Conclusion. Debt, in all its forms, is a powerful force, capable of enabling growth or triggering crisis. By understanding the different levels of debt, individuals can better evaluate their financial health and chart a course toward improvement. From the productive opportunities of strategic debt to the emotional toll of toxic debt, each level offers insight into the risks and rewards of borrowing. The path to financial freedom is not always fast or easy, but it is achievable. With knowledge, discipline, and support, anyone can begin the journey from burden to empowerment, transforming their relationship with money and reclaiming control over their financial future.